We are doing some different kind of hunting today. What is that? Okay, I lied. We're not doing that kind of hunting, but check it out. We'll still have fun. Well, if you follow our Instagram, you know that we're in Nordegg, Alberta, and we're going to check out this old rail line that used to run to the Brazeau collieries.
Wow, check that out. So the date's 1936 on this thing. It says SNR. Not sure what rail line that is.
So having now navigated across the railway bridge, which with the dog was a little bit of a challenge in a couple of spots, let's carry on down the railway track and see what we can see down here. Maybe there's some more remnants of the old mining operation. Well, we know there's a mine down there, but I mean, you know, stuff that we can get to without trespassing onto the mine site.
So I guess it is CNR, which is Canadian National Railway. So the other one I thought was SNR is actually a C. So here's the mechanism.
Yeah, there's the old switch mechanism. And look over here into the woods. And there's the old switcher for the tracks. Yeah, so you would have lifted the handle or moved the handle and that would have operated this mechanism, which would have then changed the position of the rails.
It's not connected anymore.
Oh yeah, but I'm amazed it still moves.
Yeah, and then this, it probably would have turned the placard to show
Maybe.
that the switch was thrown into stop.
Maybe. I'm sure one of the rail fans will let us know. I have heard that if you know where to look, which I don't, there are old mining cars off in the trees here somewhere along this track. Another part of a switch mechanism here. As you can see, here's the one track that is separating, and over there is the second track that from that first switch that we saw. So obviously it splits into 3 tracks as you get further down there. Here's some old remnant. Probably looks like an old coal car perhaps. Look at that over there. It looks like an old caboose or something. Oh, and actually there's an old building of some sort over here as well. And now I will reiterate at this point, we have not crossed any signs that say no trespassing, and to the best of our knowledge, we are not on the National Historic Site property that is blocked off to public access. So if we're wrong, we're sorry, but we think we're legal still at this point. Wow. Quite the building here. But it was this caboose that really caught our attention from the railway track there. Wow, it's quite rotten, but there's still, you can see the paint still on the inside here. And look through over here. Nothing left of the roof. It's just open to the sky, rotting away here at Nordegg. Not sure if that piece of metal is just laying on the ground or covering an old cistern or well. Either way, we're going to stay well back from it. No pun intended. There's another building over here. The ground here is pretty well trodden, so we're certainly not the first people or the only people to come through this area, which is a good sign.
I'm keeping Tucker very close because some of these boards have nails.
Yeah, I'm not going to go inside this one. I just want to get a shot here through the window. Really not much left inside, but the mere fact that it still exists is incredible in itself.
Probably a residential building. Miner's cabin, maybe?
Yeah, it could have certainly been an old miner's cabin. You can see there the caboose has no undercarriage and it's just sitting on these pilings. So it's very likely it was moved here to be used as an additional building. And I mean, given how well it's held up over the decades while exposed to the elements with no maintenance, you can see that it was a very well constructed piece of engineering. So why waste it? Put it to a secondary use, even when it's not needed on the rails anymore. And there's, like, as Emily was just pointing out, there's kind of like a workbench and shelves there. So I wonder if this was some kind of shop at some point.
This is probably a light fixture, like the globe of it. Here's the rim where it would have attached around the bulb. It kind of flared out. Probably broke fairly recently, but looks to be pretty old. Probably from the 20s or 30s.
And you can see here, there was obviously a stovepipe of some sort that came out there. And there was a bracket that secured it to the building. The pipe is long gone, but the vestiges of it remain. I'm thinking this might have been another miner's residence or something. You can see here, this area was kind of fenced off. And down here, it sort of looks like an old porch or something. Because right along in here, that almost looks like a wooden sidewalk, but I think it's more of a porch. And then over here, mostly buried under the grass now, is an old set of stairs. And over in these woods, probably can't see it too well, there's more pilings and perhaps an old foundation back in there. So, old wash tub there. And again, that piece of metal back there, we figure could be covering a cistern or a well. So again, we're not going to go anywhere near that for safety reasons. I don't really think we can explore those tracks much further to the west without accidentally crossing into the National Historic Site property. So we're going to work our way back east towards that first bridge we came across. It was actually supposed to rain most of the weekend, so I didn't even bring the drone along, which is really unfortunate because it would be great to put it up in the air and follow this rail line a bit in both directions and see what we could get from the air. But that'll have to wait for a future trip. Another set of switches. So as we were coming back across the train bridge there, we saw fellow YouTuber Could Be Pablo recording a music video out on it. So that was kind of cool, and always nice to run into other people who are crazy and run around with cameras like us. It looks like it gets pretty swampy from this point in. So we're probably going to turn around at this point and head back towards the car. Also, that sky looks like it could start to rain at some point, and we don't really want to get caught in the rain. It's also quite interesting to notice here that this main railway line, the right-of-way for it, really isn't that overgrown, relatively speaking, especially when you compare it to this one here, where the trees and things have grown up so much you can barely see the train tracks through them. So obviously that branch line was abandoned long before this one here, because this one is not nearly as overgrown with trees and whatnot.
So now we've crossed back over and we're on the east side of the bridge, and as you can see, the tracks diverge again. So they were, I believe, 3 tracks that converged into one to cross the bridge, probably so they didn't have to pay to build more than one bridge. And now there's at least 2, maybe 3 tracks on this side again.
This reminds me of the old poem by Robert Frost. 2 tracks converged in a wood. Oh wait, that's not how that goes. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed our quick little tour of the old railway track here at Nordegg. We're going to get back on the road and head towards camp. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Stereotypical low-angle foot shot balancing on the rails. And not very well.